everyone, I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking.
The ultimate measure of a man is not in his time of comfort and convenience, but it's in his time of challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King Jr. Before I go even further with my speech, I would like for the audience to raise your hand if you have ever faced a time of great challenge and controversy. I see the hands being raised. Thank you for that. When I think about Martin Luther King and that statement right there, it had me go in a lot of deep thoughts. Challenge and controversy. Challenge and controversy. It takes a man or woman with strong integrity and to reach their potential and growth to have that. And when I think about this and reflect on my own personal life experiences and much more, I have to admit that I am not the most perfect person. I am flawed just like you and everybody else that has listened to this today. I have fallen short, but that is part of my growth. And I will admit right now that there's a lot of times where I have just lost my cool. And that is perfectly fine. But at the same time, we must learn from that mistakes and go even more further. And then I just reflect on Martin Luther King's statement again, and I think about the time period, because this is a man that wanted to unite people together, no matter what the color or the background, together as one. He had a dream. But this man right here walked the streets peacefully and got spat in his face. Could you imagine of how hard it could have been at that current time to know that your vision and much more is to be something of greater, and you're doing it peacefully, but yet as you walk peacefully as unit together, to be spat in the face. Not only that, to see your people being hosed down and treated as mere objects, not as human beings, but as simple objects to be thrown away. And not only that, his own family life was on the line. And I know any man that has his family on the line, their integrity will really be tested, because as any man will want to defend and protect their family. So as I continue with this speech and you follow along with me, I want you to keep this one thing inside of your head, is how will you react in time of trouble? I'm gonna say it again. How will you react in time of trouble? And just in case you didn't hear me for the first two times, I'll say it one more time. How will you react in times of trouble? Because I feel like these is what really forms what a true leader is meant to be. Now, everybody has their own different perspectives of what a leader should be. Some may believe that Barack Obama was a great leader. Some may believe Donald Trump is a great leader. Others may think Muhammad Ali, and the list goes on from the community, boxers, athletes, actresses, and much more. But it still goes to that point that I said earlier of how will you act in the times of trouble. Because there's something really funny about everybody wants to be a boss, especially in the social media age that we have today. As everybody is quick to put boss leader into their Instagrams, Facebook, and much more. But when it comes times of challenges, they run away. So will you run away when challenge comes for you, or will you face it head on? Will you run away, or will you face it head on? And as I dive really even deeper into this, think of the mother who had to hold those tears in the moments when our kids were watching, to show that love and comfort to her kids and show that strength. Even though there was times where she just wanted to break completely down, she still held it in because she wanted to show that courage and that strength and be that image for the kids to continue throughout their life. Or better yet, think of that father who can't stay in their job and can't wait to quit, but he can't quit. You know why? Because he has to be able to provide the funds to keep the lights on. He has to be able to provide the funds to keep his kids fed. And he has to be able to be showing the strength and keep the funds in and much more, because if he quits, not only will he let his wife down and his kids down, he will let his own family down and the society and the community that is looking up to him. So always be aware of who's watching, because you never know, and you must always show strength. And again, I will ask, how you react in times of trouble. Even in business, as we all know, businesses grow and get even bigger, but as you rise even higher to success, you will face controversy. You got to be able to motivate that sales team to make those phone calls and those dials, and I'm speaking from experience. Because there's going to be times where you don't want to pick up the phone or even yet knock on that door because you are sick and tired of denial. But you have to be a leader and motivate your sales team to move even forward to get past that. Or even better, you must be the one to show innovation so you can stay competitive in the market. Because once you get comfortable, it's pretty much a wrap. We have seen plenty of examples of this, from Blockbuster and much more. They believe in their module and think that this is what society believes that they should hold on to. But they refuse to change, to adjust. So it takes integrity and being open-minded to get to this level and to keep it. And not only that, you will be tested by society. Society will doubt you. Society will test your limits, call your names. So how will you be able to handle the pressure? And will you be able to rise up? Another thing that I want to get onto, diving right even further, is everybody wants to make the top dollar, the big bucks, shot collar, and much more. But the people that want to make these big bucks, they want to do everything else that everybody else is. And I'm here to remind you that if you want to be in the top percent or leave that legacy or leave that impact in society, you got to be able to do the things that everybody else is not willing to do. That means you have to work extra hard to get to that point. You have to put the hours in and much more, because it's not just an overnight success. And I sometimes get caught in the wonder why people think it's overnight. Of course, you may go viral off of one post and things like that, but they don't see the past works. They don't see the amount of hours you put in to get to that point. And you got to be able to put in that work and hold your moral principles and hold on to integrity again. Because a lot of times people just let go of that because they're not getting the rewards from it immediately. But it's going to take patience. It's like, I always go to this perfect example of lifting up weights. When you go into a weight room, you're going to start lifting the weights. In the beginning, you're going to struggle. It's just like life. As you lift these weights and continue, it slowly becomes easier and easier. And then you get comfortable, but don't get comfortable. You should always challenge yourself to go to the next level. Never get comfortable, because once you get comfortable, you allow others to test you even further, and then again your integrity will be tested. So as you go through your life, you must always be willing and able to keep up and going to the next level, because this is a marathon, not a sprint. And if it was easy, everyone would be able to do it. It sometimes hits me really hard when people think that it's supposed to be given to you. But if you really want some of the things that you want in life, you're going to have to put the extra work in, hold on to your moral principles, integrity, and much more, and fight for what you deserve. Because no one is just going to give you your dream. You're going to have to fight for it. And while you fight for it, make sure you do it the right way and hold on to what you believe and stand for in integrity. Just like I said earlier in Martin Luther King's statement. Because these are the foundations of what keeps you whole. Because if you lose this as you rise up, you will quickly fall back down. Now, as I go even further, I believe that a leader must have these 4 traits. And one of them that first comes to mind is communication. Because if you are unable to communicate with another partner, how can they be able to understand? You may have different dreams, visuals, and things like that. But if you don't have any kind of communication skills, it's all gone. Communication not only just applies in business, but personal life as well. So as you step forward in your own life and much more, you must hold on to communication and make sure that it is well understood. Now, after communication, here's another thing. You must be also be able to listen. Yes, I said it. Listen. Even myself have been guilty for doing this as well. But I've learned even more as I get older. You must learn how to listen. Because as you grow and go forward into life, you must keep an open ear. You must always be able to learn. And it's okay if you don't know everything. It's part of being a leader and holding on integrity as well. Because you being able to learn the different traits and things like that makes you more well-rounded so you can make a bigger impact, not only in your own area, but also worldwide. So the more that you listen, the more strong and a bigger impact you will land and leave that bigger legacy. Next thing is vision. You must have a vision. Because if you don't have a vision, you'll be lost. And the worst thing they can have is a leader without a vision. It's like a lost leader. And that's the most dangerous kind. Because he will lead his people in the community and much more into the wrong direction that may be strongly disastrous. So you must be able to have a vision and see through adversity in the cloud to reach that destination. So make sure that you have a vision. So remember that. You must have communication, the ability to and lastly, see, like I said earlier, I'm not perfect, but that's okay. Lastly, you must be able to trust. Name one Fortune 500 company that has made to a success without being able to trust each other individuals. Because if you think you can reach all these and much more by yourself, you must be strongly mistaken. It takes a team, and if you can do it all by yourself, you're not dreaming big enough. So you must be able to trust these people with your vision and much more, and have the integrity and the communication and much more to lead them to their path, because that is what's going to make you leave a legacy. So, with that said, I want you to listen to this and understand. I understand that you may have a past that may hold you down, a past that probably has destructed inside of you and make you think that you are not really worth it. But I'm here to remind you that you are worth it. And no matter what your past is, you must be able to keep moving forward, because that is not going to determine your future. If anything, that is the building steps to your success. So don't let your past be the end. The next thing is fear. The fear of unknown. I understand that you may have fears, and because you can't really see the destination that you're heading into, you may come to a stop. But until you get outside your comfort zone and push past that and go into beyond your fears, you will never reach your success. You will contain yourself when your possibilities are there. Because if you are constantly staying in the same spot, you will never get closer to your destination. But as soon as you start taking those small steps, you become closer to your destination. And that only happens when you begin to attack on fear. Expectation. I understand that the expectations for you are very high. Your family is looking up to you. Your society is looking up to you. Your kids are looking up to you and much more. And you don't want to let them down. But like I said earlier, don't let the fear of failure prevent you from reaching your success. Because you have to be that one to make that impact. And if you just let that hold you back, you will never let that impact, and someone is counting on you. And I understand you're going to face criticism. And it's all part of success. Success is given to those who are warrior and fight for it. Because if you give up now, you just dropped the baton to inspiring that kid that's going to be in the future. You have to show this child the integrity. And if you quit, you never will. So I want you to understand that you are worth it. Because I need you. They need you. The world needs you. The world needs you to to stand on something strong. The world needs you to leave impact, to change society, and make that stand to what you believe. And it may not be the most easiest thing, but that's okay. Because anything that's really worth it is going to take some great challenge. But you must remember not to quit. Never to quit and hold on to your integrity. Because you don't know how many lives are depending on you. And if you quit, you will let them down. Never fall to under this and keep striving for more. Because this is a journey. It's a marathon. And as you continue, you will inspire the nations and much more, that you are meant to be that leader, and you will inspire the next person and to become the next leader, and it becomes a cycle. But it all becomes into integrity and holding on and unleashing a dream. Because just remember, like I said in the very beginning, Martin Luther King had a dream, and it was never easy. He got spat on, people got posed his people down, and much more. But through your storms and tribulations and much more is where you find your breakthrough for your success. And if you give up now, you will never get to that point. So use, and I repeat and I ask you, use your struggle, use your storms to reach your potential, because someone is counting on you. And just remember, like I said earlier, how will you react in times of trouble?